Hello and welcome to the Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. Now this time we have a single malt Scotch whisky from Tullibardine. It is the Tullibardine 228 Burgundy finish. 228, it's not 228 years old, unfortunately. 228 is the number of litres, the size of the Burgundy cask that they've finished these in. So Tullibardine Highland Distillery, it's owned by a French company, Picard. Don't know much else to say about it other than I've never had anything from Tullibardine before. So there's this 228 with the Burgundy finish. There's another one available in BC, which is an ex-bourbon barrel one, what do they call it? The Sovereign. And then I think they've got Sauternes and sherry cask finish available in Ontario. But this I was able to pick up in BC for about 85 Canadian plus tax. It's bottled at 43%. I don't know about chill filtration or natural colour. It certainly doesn't indicate one way or the other on either of those things. So perhaps we have to assume that it is chill filtered. And looking at the colour, possibly it's not natural. Interesting thing about the box, I thought that this was kind of a flip top, but actually it just comes off like this, a little block, and it's got a little stash thing there, so you can stash, you can hide something. What could that possibly be? So I've poured a glass of this already because it really does benefit from being left out for a little while. Looking at the colour, a little bit orange, so I think there might well be some Eon 50A in there. Okay, so that's the bottle and the carton. I've poured a little glass of this. Never had anything from Tullibardine. I'm not sure I've had anything with a Burgundy finish, and I'm not a wine drinker, by the way. So when I describe the wine flavours in this, it's not going to be the same as the Times wine critic. Let's see what we get. Wine. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at describing wine notes, but it is very definitely a red wine with lots of tannins, a robust and very spicy, slightly dry wine note with plenty of red fruits, but the red fruits seem to be hidden behind the tannin and woody and spice, dry spice notes. So at the moment, Christmas cake, maybe dried fruit, but the real punch of fruit is just hidden beneath a slightly smoky and dry nose. There is a hint of perfume as well, woody perfume, dry spice I mentioned, a hint of kind of extra strong mint. So those, I think they only sell them in the UK, XXX strong mints. There is a smokiness there that's almost like a slightly overcooked bacon note, which I think is a little bit off, I'm afraid. And when I first opened the bottle, I found that there was a real vulcanized rubber note to it as well. And, apple cider vinegar that time. And really, before the oxygen got to it, before I got used to the flavour, I wasn't too keen on it, and I thought that it was like a bicycle inner tube with strawberry jam spread on it, because it has the fruit, but that is competing with a vulcanized rubber, kind of heavy, smoky note, very difficult to describe, but that's burnt off now. And I think if you're a Scotch whisky drinker and you like a bit of red wine as well, I think you dive straight into this. But I'm used to the ex-bourbon, the ex-sherry, so this is a bit more tricky for me. And certainly, often people say, well, you know, you give something a finish. It's not really interacting with the whiskey, but this really, it really has. The bourbon casks, bourbon barrels have really left the mark. Okay, so as some of the heavier notes have lifted, you get red fruit, red berries. Still rather a lot of that mint. So I will try it on the palate, then I will add a little water, which I find improves it, and then we'll see how we do. Wow, spicy on the tongue. Real European oak spice, cinnamon, chocolate, mouth coating. What are they called now? I've forgotten the name. Fennel. That dry red wine, it quickly develops to a gingery, vanilla, almost custard note. Quite interesting, but it's not the most refined, I have to say. Let's give it a little bit of water, 2/2 of a teaspoon there. Hint of red chilli starting to develop. Stewed tea. Minty, chocolate mint, like after 8 minutes. Yeah, the chocolate notes really come out after I've added the water. Just spicy and robust. That time on the palate, the fruits have really made it to the forefront. The spice is still there, but it doesn't pinch. Bit more mouth-watering, fading to that fruity, custardy dessert with just a sprig of fresh mint in there as well. Long finish, and the spice lingers on your lips and on your tongue afterwards. Just a long vanilla dessert finish. And a little bit of the rubber is remaining. So honestly, I think this is something that does, I'm afraid, lack a little bit of grace, but it's certainly a very interesting thing. And if you are a red wine drinker, you might take to it like a duck to water. For me, not being a wine drinker, I found it a little bit challenging. I don't think it's perfect, but it's certainly very interesting, reasonable for the price, long finish. If you bought a bottle of this and you're not particularly enjoying it, I would really give it time, and I would add some water. Same with any whiskey that you've opened and maybe you're like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Give it a bit of water, give it some time, and you might find that it improves. So I probably wouldn't buy this particular one again. I would be interested in buying the Sauternes cask, Tullibardine, because I think they're doing these cask finishes actually quite well. Being actually a French wine importer and marketer, it's clearly their strong point. So maybe not this exact one again, but I would, because it might not be to my personal taste, but certainly plenty of flavour for the money. and yeah, a reasonable amount of poise. So I'd consider other things from Tullibardine. This particular one, not for me again, I'm afraid. Okay, can you help me to choose the review for next time? Okay, we're going to do it on our phone keypads. Dial 1 for the Royal Lochnagar 12-year-old single malt Scotch. Dial 2 for the Lagavulin 8-year-old single malt Scotch. Or dial 3 for the Eagle Rare Kentucky Straight Bourbon. So 1 for the Royal Lochnagar, 2 for the Lagavulin, 3 for the Eagle Rare. Lines close whenever I decide they close. And yeah, there's no charge for voting. Excellent. Okay, we'll meet again soon. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe as usual. I'll enjoy what remains of this, and thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.